Very special episode. For one reason only. The girl we're looking at over here is actually my sister. And you have to make contact for 5 seconds to say 5? Start the timer whenever you're ready. Yo, this is so loud.
So sorry, say I love you and then stare.
Oh yeah, I feel like he's trying to race. Alright team, are we ready? 3, 2, 1.
And mind you, bro, this boy told me, and if you asked me like a couple weeks ago, I would have told you that like, nah, I would never do that. That's not me. I can't date multiple people at the same time. But like, don't make fun of me. But I got this from TikTok. If you're mad, like, are you even real, bro?
Having multiple guy friends and you're not friends with, what you doing hanging around those guys? That's what I'm saying. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Relationship Status. Here we talk about all things young love, both the good and the bad. It's your boy Wild D, aka Young Love Doctor, here to lead the show again. And today's gonna be a very, very special episode. For one reason only. The girl we're looking at over here is actually my sister. And she's gonna be on the show today with her new mates. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the show. You know what we always gotta do. First question is, what's your relationship status?
Hi, my name is Rayma. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I grew up in Cali and now I'm living in New York.
Hi, my name is Chris Lee. I'm Haitian, but I grew up in New Jersey, and I'm currently in New York as well.
Alright, without further ado, how did you guys meet?
Okay.
Why don't you tell us about that?
I thought you should give the freshman year story, and then I could give the junior story.
Yeah, so it was during COVID because we were freshmen when COVID happened. And this is like a period where you have to wear masks everywhere. Like there's a limited amount of people that can be in the like lounges. So me and my friend, we wanted to watch Wizards of Waverly Place for some reason in one of the lounges in her dorm. And Chris Lee actually had a girlfriend at that time, and he came in and he heard us like with the little Wizards of Waverly Place theme song. He was like, oh my gosh, that Wizards of Waverly Place? I love Wizards of Waverly Place. And went on for like 15 minutes talking about Wizards of Waverly Place. And we're just like, yo, oh my gosh, like, man, that's so funny, it's so cute. Yeah. So, but after that, huh?
I was talking not long ago.
Yeah, you were. And after that.
Not know why I was talking that long.
And after that, I literally never saw him again.
What the?
Actually ever. Like, didn't see him again until junior year. But you gotta talk on junior year.
So junior year, we have like a show at our college. It's called Afrique. It's like a fashion show. And I wanted to be a model. And Rayma is like on like the e-board for this group that does the Afrique show. So I became a model, and Rayma was always at the practices, and I was also at the practices as well, obviously. So we didn't really talk to each other until one of the practices where we had an odd number of bottles. So Rayma had to like kind of be my partner in the bottling process. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just like talked to her during that period of time. And then it was just like, since then we kind of like slowly kind of talked every practice. And then it wasn't until like the day of the show where after like she came up to me, she was like, oh, you did such a great job, blah, blah, blah. And then like we started like texting shortly after that, the talk.
Okay. Right, I'm what's up there, right?
I do want to say though, like at first,
Eric, kind of sounds like you did the first move a little bit. That's what it kind of sounds.
Girls, don't be afraid to shoot your shots. Ooh. That's what I want to say. Don't be afraid to shoot your shots. It's 2023.
On period.
Shoot your shot.
On period.
But one of the first times, like the first time that I ever like really spoke to him during the practices was he was standing in front of me while I was trying to watch the models because we were supposed to be like seeing the model walk, trying to tell them how to do it and like in order for the show to look good. And he was standing right in front of me. He was not standing where all the other models were supposed to be standing. And I was like, excuse me, if you're standing in front of me, can you move? And not even trying to be like not even trying to be mean.
No, what we not trying to be like, man? No, come on. No, what we not trying to be? Nah, like don't even say I'm not trying to be mean.
No, I was trying to be mean. Like you're not standing where it's supposed to stand. Like why not tell me twice? You know, whole adult. Like why are you doing that? So I was like, can you move? Like what you doing standing in my front? Like don't do that. So he thought that I was really mean. Like he thought, and not to get you wrong. Like. Like,
nah. Like actually, so
I'm not the nicest person in the world, but I'm not like mean. You know, he confirmed this.
I thought she was very mean. I'm not gonna lie, because when I came to the practice, it was my first practice ever, so I don't know what was going on. So I was going to where like the people who like they knew what they were doing were at. So I was talking to the people, and it wasn't even like a second chance thing. She just immediately said, "Excuse me, can you get out of my way? I can't see." So in my mind, I was registered like, okay, this girl's kind of mean. So when she came to me at the show, like so happy, oh my gosh, she did such a good job. I was like, where is this energy coming from? But like,
Yeah, like verbatim, he was like, "Oh, so you're nice to me now?" And I was like,
So you're nice to me now. It's crazy. So you're nice to me now. It's crazy.
"Yeah." And I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That was my twin. That wasn't me."
She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
But yeah,
Wait, so you already feel? So that means that you were already feeling him a little bit.
I've been feeling him since freshman year. So on, I literally like you could ask my friend. Like I was like, "Oh, he's kind of cute," but you know, I'm not a homewrecker, so I was like,
Oh, period.
he got a little girl.
Ah, you're respectful.
Heavy on little. He got a little girl. She was like, he's like 6'1". She was like 4'11". So 4'10".
4'11".
4'10" and a half apparently.
It's almost like what's the back there? It's like 2/3. But 2 that's your height.
It was absurd. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's more like 5'6". Okay, well that's interesting. So it kind of seems like so far on your journey, there was this big. Number one, you guys had like a brief introduction, a brief introduction freshman year, at a time where it was unprecedented, right? To kind of meet people, right? And I remember at the time, like, you know, you were kind of trying to figure out what your friendship situation was. You were bouncing around a couple of people and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to see that, like, you know, you walked into a room and you probably thought like, oh, I'm just trying to figure out what my friends are going to be like, you know, for over the next couple of years. And not even recognizing that your potentially lifelong partner is like standing right there, right?
It's probably interesting.
what's interesting about the story is I forgot that I met her freshman year until she brought it up that day. When she came to me like, "Oh my gosh, you did such a good job," I was like, "Oh, do you know my friend named Carl? Because he met you freshman year." She was like, "I met you freshman year." I something like that. I was like, "When?" And then she was like, "When you were in the room."
It's crazy. You don't even remember.
No, but what's crazy is I feel
As soon
like
as she said the
sorry,
story,
guys. I feel like guys always have that. It's like, right.
as soon as she said the story, though, I remembered it immediately. So I was like, because I remember that day they were watching was already place, and I was feeling like extra friendly that day or something. I don't know. So like I remember that day vividly, and like that's why I love that story a lot, because it was just like we knew each other before we knew each other.
Yeah, but like you kind of knew of each other, but you didn't really know each other. Did you guys talk on that day at all?
After that, no, we didn't talk.
No, did you talk on that day? Was that what was the weekly conversation? That's what you guys had, and that was
Yeah,
it.
that was.
And that was it.
Wow.
And, like, he was
years
in-
like junior years, and you type interact,
Yeah.
and you see him at the dance.
At the fashion show.
The
Yeah.
fashion show, sorry.
He was in my friend's pre-med frat. So my friend thought he was really cute, and she would talk about him all the time. And I'm like, yeah, like, Chrisley, he fine, like, he this, he that. But, like, I didn't know him. I never spoke to him. She was the only one that had the connection with him. And it's like, we talk about this all the time. Or I bring this up. I bring this up all the time. Like, it's so crazy how we came from, like, that to this. Because I genuinely thought, like, he was just a little character, like, in her little story. Like, she was, like, I had never really encountered him throughout all of that. He was just this person that he had, like, continuously talked about. So then for me to be, like, sitting right next to him, he had 2 other girlfriends in that period, too. So, like, it didn't give, like, we were supposed to meet, like, we were supposed to be a thing, like, we were supposed to start dating, like, it's just so crazy to think about.
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. So, okay, so now we're at this part where you made the comment to him after the fashion show, right? He's surprised by it, right? Oh, you were expecting it? All right, well, you're surprised that she gave it to you. You're surprised that she gave it to you.
Because the thing about it is, I also had a crush on her. It was a shorter stint. She was also a character for me and my friends, because I had another friend who was doing the fashion show with me, and we both recently got our relationship. So we were like, you know, singing, ready to mingle, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I would always tell him like, "Oh, Rainbow's like, Mary, I think she's really pretty." Like, I would like be at practice, and I would just like look at her because I thought she was so pretty and stuff. But so like every interaction we had was a little flirty. So like I kind of like knew something was. I didn't know something was gonna happen,
All right,
but
so y'all were friends throughout this entire fashion show.
kind of sort of.
Yeah.
basically.
But you didn't know, sorry, I cut you off there. You were saying you didn't know.
Like, well, we can get to that later, but I didn't want to make a move initially, but then, like, she came up to me. I was shocked that she came up to me, but it wasn't unexpected.
Like, it was all part of the game that y'all were playing, basically.
Little cat and
Little sit tat toe, you know what I'm saying? Little strategics.
Yeah.
It was like her turn. It was like she was up. It's just like, was it you that tried to like do some flirtatious things and she was being mean to you? So you were kind of waiting for her to like, pop out like at the end of the show.
Low key, I do give hard to get, cause I am hard to
That's
get.
what I think. That's what I think.
It's like you gotta do that sometimes, because if you give yourself too much, like, men start to think that you're too easy, and like,
absolutely.
Like, yeah, I had known that he was in a relationship, but I didn't know he just recently got out of a relationship, because I was like, I don't want to give that energy and you have a little girl at the end of the day. Like, yeah, I think you're cute, and like, yeah, but like, I'm not gonna do all that. So when I found out, I was like, oh, the game is on, like EA Sports game. Like I said, this is me about in there, like swimwear, like I was like, I'm not even joking, bro. So like at first, like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't like tell that I like was interested in him. But then that freak show, I was like, when am I ever gonna see him again? Like this really my
You gotta do it.
It's like that, like you got 3 seconds on the clock type, and like you really got
time.
I really made it.
And you always want to, you want to know people, bro. You just gonna do it.
Yeah.
You just gonna do it. No. Okay, all right. So with college so far, what's next? How did we get here? How are we here?
Sure. So that was her move. That was her chess move. She came up to me that show. I think I made the second chess move. It wasn't much. I responded to a story. But I feel like the responding to the story is what got us to like talking damn near every day. So I think that's what led to that. Should I give the whole story? Because it was like a lot of like intricacies.
So the texting is what led you guys talking every day, basically?
Yeah.
Once you guys started texting after that.
Yeah.
Who sent the first text?
Me.
Hey, okay. All right, let's talk about that moment a little bit, because like I feel like guys out there, like sometimes like we be in a situation where like, they trying to flirt with a girl and they got like the situation on lock a little bit, but they don't know what to say next, or they don't know like, should I text her first? Like, did you want him to text you at that point? Like, what did you say to her? Let's analyze that situation before we even get like on to like the rest of the
I mean, not gonna lie, I actually texted him first. I don't know why he lied, but like I texted him first. Because
you a cap?
Okay,
Did you text me good?
bro, it was Aura's birthday. I texted him because my friend had a birthday party and she wanted me to invite all her friends, and Chrisley was one of her friends. So low key, if we talking about even before we started liking each other, I texted him first. For like, if you scroll back in the messages, I was the first person to text him, and then I texted him again because we had to see all the model outfits for the photo shoot.
Okay.
So I texted him again after that.
Okay.
But in regards to us, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he ate that one though.
I love it. I get this now, bro. Administrative text, like, compare to the, hey,
Yeah.
like, let's move in. Let's get
Yeah,
deeper.
yeah.
That's like the thing I'm looking for. Like, I want to know what was going on in your mind after she came up to you and you responded to her. What was the whole thing like from there? Like talk about like that moment up until you sent the text, and like what you were thinking to send the text, what you say in the text.
Like so much. So when she came up to me that day and she was like, oh, you did such a good job on the show, like that interaction itself was very like flirtatious. So I went to my friend who was also on the fashion show and I was like, yo, like Raymond just came up and she talked to me, like I think she actually likes me. I was geeked. I was like, I was so like, we were talking about this right It was right after that. So like I didn't really find an outlet to try to text her. I texted her that same day, but she didn't respond to me. But like I was like, okay, whatever, it's cool. I'm gonna just keep it moving. And then she posted on her story. Well, first she texted in the group chat. It was like the group chat for the models, and she said something like some funny thing, and I thought it was like funny because I was like, she like talked in a very like quirky kind of like cute way. So I responded to one of her stories with what she said, and then like we just started talking from there, and it was like a very just like joking with each other, like me and flirtatious vibe. The whole time, I don't know if I told her, but the whole time I'm texting her, I'm with my friend, I'm like, yo, like however you remember talking, like this is actually like I've never met a girl who like could talk like this. Like it's so easy to talk to her, so fun to talk to her. So it started off on Instagram from that, and then I think that's when like the simple Latino thing.
So your texting her came from a story that she posted?
Mm-hmm.
So really? Wrong.
You might say technically that's right.
I mean, wait, was it just of him?
Wait, what?
Or was it of him and multiple people? What was the story you posted?
She posted a picture of herself.
But then how did you get it?
See, he was just trying to use that. You know what?
Oh, you posted a picture of yourself and he responded to that story?
Yeah. I'm going to slide it to your DM.
Okay. So you slid up in the DMs of her. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. So that takes. I would still count that. I would definitely count that as you making the first move for sure.
The first move.
Like the first afterthought move. Like, let's take this into the.
No, I called that. I played
Follow
first
through.
and
No,
he
you're
was
right.
second. I
You're
was
right.
the black pawn and he was the white pawn, like in the chest. Like I made my move and then it was his turn. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
If I make a move, you want someone else to reciprocate.
Okay.
Okay, white pawn, black pawn. You know what I meant? Like damn. But like, but yeah, like I count that as like he was reciprocating the energy after I made the first move.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot. Who made the first move?
It was definitely me.
Wow. But then if you drag back, who started the flirting?
That don't mean
During
nothing.
during the fashion show practice.
That don't mean nothing. Men flirt all the time. Doesn't mean they want to. Know that.
Whoa!
Men flirt for fun. Men flirt for sport. Men flirt so they can go tell their friends. That don't mean she wants you, and that don't mean he wants you. Girls do it too. I'm not gonna lie. So unless it was like really rude and
Real
like
intentional.
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah,
Good points.
yeah. So.
That's a quote. That's a clip. Okay, so we'll just say for now
That Raymond made the first move.
that I guess undergoing Rayma's logic and not a thinking, she probably made the first tangible move. But it's it takes two to tango, right? So kudos to both of you guys for going back and forth. Now, after you sent her that message on Instagram stories, what next? So you guys start talking every day, and
then I saw her one time on campus, and she was selling tickets because she's in a dance group called Super Latino.
yeah.
And she was selling tickets for the show, and she wanted me to buy them. And that kind of like made up our conversations after that, because like I wasn't super responsive, but she would always be on some like, did you get the ticket yet? Like what are you taking so long? Did you get the ticket yet?
Yeah.
Mind you, I was the captain of the team too. So like it was my dutiful responsibility to get tickets. Plus, I wanted the guy that I like to be at the show, like to see all the hard work that I put in. So yeah, I was bothering him OD. Like bro, like every day, daily, without fail. Have you gotten a ticket? Have you gotten a ticket? Have you gotten a ticket?
Yeah.
Have you gotten a ticket? But have you gotten a ticket?
So why? Let's talk about that, because I feel like a lot of this little phase right here is very interesting that you're about to go into, because I feel like sometimes, and this probably happens on both sides actually, where we think that the conversation's flowing, where we're starting to get a momentum, starting to get a tempo, and I really feel like this person is reciprocating, and then they kind of fall off a little bit. Like you're not responding, you're not being super responsive. Right? A lot of women would have checked out on that point.
Right.
A lot of women would have checked
I was ready to check out.
out. A lot of women would have checked out at that point. Are you kidding me? I mean, I feel like it was Kiana. She would have dummy checked out. I mean, Kiana for sure would have checked out.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, one, what was going through, because I already kind of know what was going on in your mind. Right? Like you're probably a little bit more like angsty, like why is he responding, and you kind of really just wanted him to be there. I want to know what was going on in your mind, and when you thought being irresponsive at that point in time was a good idea.
I felt like it was a lot of destiny. Because we were talking every day, but if I didn't randomly see her, because I didn't even see her. She saw me and she called me. She was like, yo, you're on Hope Plaza. You should come get a ticket. And what's most important from this, because like everything like happened for a reason. What's most important about this conversation is that she was talking about jollof rice and how she wanted to make jollof rice. But I'm gonna like so basically I'm gonna answer your question first.
Yeah.
The reason why I wasn't super responsive is because I didn't really want a relationship at the time. So I didn't want to like, because I knew where this was heading, like the vibe it was giving, I knew where it was heading, so I didn't want to like give her an idea that I wasn't able to upkeep or like satisfy her. I didn't want to give her like an idea like I was interested, But I was kind of trying to be like, I'm sure like I just got a relationship. I shouldn't go like right back into a new one. So I was trying to like pull away a little bit. But I felt like so many stuff just happened where like it was just like destined the way it was. Which is why I get back to the whole plaza thing, because she saw me on whole plaza. I never see her on campus. That's one thing. Like we never saw each other on campus. So the fact that we were on campus at the same time, at the same moment, was just like, first it was crazy, and then she started talking about, oh, like I want to make jollof rice, and I was like, oh, why are you gonna make me jollof rice? And then I feel like that jollof rice night is what really pushed everything.
So that night when you had her jollof rice, was that jollof rice so tantalizing that it just redirected your...
So
It just
sensational.
redirected your
delicious.
foolishness.
So delectable. It reset the brain. It reset
So
the brain.
it just redirected your heart to just move
Yeah.
It did.
to how.
It did.
So you can win a man by his stomach.
Indeed.
You can win a man by his stomach.
Indeed.
Wow, very interesting. So, what about the jollof rice then? Let's get into this jollof rice now. We've heard enough about you. Let's get some out of Raymond.
Yeah.
What do you think that this jollof rice night did for your relationship?
So it was the day before I was supposed to drive 4 hours all the way back to New York City. And I was determined to make jollof rice that night. Like, I had bought all the ingredients. I was like, if I'm not going to make it now, I'm never going to make it. All this food is going to spoil. Like, I'm just going to make it tonight. And I was actually supposed to make it for one of his girl best friends. Let that sink. Let that sink. But ooh, let that sink.
We got a lot to talk about tonight.
We gonna run back to that. But I was supposed to make it for him and his girl best friends, but I wasn't sure if she was on campus. So I texted Chrisley. I was like, "Oh, I'm about to make the jollof rice. Like, do you want to come over?" Mind you, I had started cooking at maybe like 11:30, and I didn't finish until 1. And then I was supposed to leave in the morning at 6.
So before spring break too.
Yeah, so I had made the jollof rice, and then he had his friend who was also Nigerian. So I was like, "Oh, bring him too," because like he's actually Nigerian, like he's gonna know how jollof rice is supposed to taste, and I actually want to know if I did it well because it's my first time making jollof rice. So he came over, and both of them didn't leave until like 4 a.m. in the morning. So I most definitely did not leave at 6 a.m. Like, if I was driving by myself, I left at like maybe 12 that day. But in terms of our relationship, like, I really got like to get to know him, and he really got to get to know me, like outside of like other people in my home. Like, it was like very like intimate vibes, you know, like just like a girl taking that much effort to like make like a very special food for like someone, even if like you didn't like we weren't together at that point, but I was just like, oh, I know that like I wanted to make it, and it wasn't just like so like, oh, I want to impress him, like I want him to choose me, pick me, love me. Like, no, I genuinely wanted like to make the jollof rice, and I genuinely wanted to give it to him. So I feel like he could, I don't know if you could like feel that, like you could see that like it was not just like a ploy to get you, like I genuinely just wanted to make jollof rice. And I feel like that kind of shows our relationship a lot. Like, I genuinely do things because I want to, and I like him, and like not because like I want him to like me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, in terms of, I got to get to know his friend as well, one of his closest friends like on campus. And like what's important to me is like not only getting to know you, but getting to know the people that you love, people that are around you, because like it further deepens me into your life. But it's also like there's a reason why you keep these friends, there's a reason why you keep these people around you. Like, I want to be like close to them as well, because like they're a part of you, like, and I want every part of you, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I feel like that was a really special night. One, because my first time making jollof rice, and it slapped, I'm not gonna lie. I ate downward with that jollof rice. Not gonna lie, it was busting, real busting.
Scrape that plate.
Yeah, yeah. And two, just like it was like the first picture of me and Chrisley ever took. It was so cute. It was. I don't know if you could put pictures on the side.
Yeah, actually, I can't. I actually can't.
Sending the picture, it was a little. Yeah, it was cute.
Like, even so, me and Shy were hanging out, and like she texted me at 11:30, like, "Oh, I'm gonna enjoy the first one." I'm like, "Shy, it was oh wait," because I don't know if it was like I would give her flirtatious, but I don't think she knew how much I actually like liked her. I think she just thought I was like a regular guy that was just like being flirtatious and city flirtatious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so I was saying, me personally, like, the night was very special to me because like I don't think Raymond knew that I actually like fully liked her as much as I did at the time. I think she just thought I was being like flirtatious, like a guy who's just being flirtatious, like for fun. But like when she texted me that, the whole time was shy. I'm like, bro, I don't think like she's actually about to make me Joel at first. At first I thought she was joking about making me Joel at first. I didn't think she was actually making me Joel at first. I never really had like someone do something like that for me, especially like at the time it was. And then she was telling me before that she had to drive to New York the next day, so I was like, there's no way she's actually about to do this. So I thought when she said it, she was gonna text me like, oh no, never mind. Or like I thought she was just gonna like make it, give it to me at my house and then just leave. But she was like, no, like I want you to like try it out. Like you could like come over and like try it out. So I was like, oh wow, that's so crazy. And I was like, it was just like a big thing to me at the time. Before it happened, after it happened, me and Shio, which was my friend who was became with me, we were just like talking about it the entire time. And like at the time though, I was like, oh, like do you like why'd you Joel at the time? She was like, oh, I'm trying to make it for like my Nigerian friend, see if it tastes good. So she was trying to like play it off. Like it wasn't like something. But I knew deep down it was something. I was like, yeah, so it was wonderful. Like she was just so crazy. She came out. She was like, oh, do you want the water like room temperature, cold? I was like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was playing my little like nonchalant thing though, which I think she very nonchalant. That's what y'all read. That's what y'all wanted. That's what y'all wanted, right?
Me not.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I love that.
So I wasn't showing how much like it meant to me, but so like I was like, oh, when it was all over, I was like, we should take a picture, just because I don't know why. So that's that picture.
Commemorate the moment.
Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's really beautiful, sir. For the sake of time, let's keep it moving. But this, I do want to reflect on this. It's very beautiful. It feels like you had a very, very natural way of meeting that wasn't forced. And it seemed like your two natural character sets, it's kind of like infused with one another. I don't even know how to explain it because I think it's like so deeply complex that it's deeply complex, but that's also what makes it beautiful in the sense I can't explain it because it just feels so right that it doesn't deserve to have words to it. It's just a really nice way that you guys met, very clean, very destiny oriented, very fate oriented. At the same time, it was also very quirky, complex, and I really like it. And I'm happy for you guys. How about we tie this story together, and then we can move on to how the question was posed, because they're now official. All right, so now that you guys are together, how about we dig into the real things? It's actually funny because this is the theme, the major theme of this episode. I know that it took a little bit of a while for you to ask that question, Krista. It took you a little bit of a minute.
Minute.
A lot of people will refer to this generation as the generation of situationships.
Wait.
Right? A lot of people will say that, you get into that relationship phase, and I guess because of the way society has moved now, the way that we're taught to prioritize ourselves over others, has made us kind of internally think, I gotta make sure that this decision is the right one for me, right? And it makes you internally deeply reflect that. I gotta prioritize not prioritize my own self, but more so make sure that like myself is correct, as opposed to I feel like in the past, right? A lot of people just flung themselves into relationships, and then if it worked out, it worked out. If it didn't, it didn't. Now I feel like our generation is a little bit more pensive before we get into a relationship, right? So that's just my little spiel on situationships. But I want to get into first. Yeah, it took a little bit of a while you guys to get there. Why was that? Let's start with that.
That's all you, Key.
Yeah. And I actually really glad you said that about people just flinging themselves into relationships, because like Rima said before, I was into relationships before I met Rima, and one freshman year and one sophomore year. So I feel like just why like this was the first time I was like, I don't want to just jump into a relationship. Like I'm single, I'm in college, I really want to like enjoy myself. And one of my friends made a good point. He was like, all those other girls, you didn't give them like all this like all this thought. Like Rima isn't a girl who needs all this thought. Like this is a girl that you need to like tough. Like this is the one. And I was thinking like